What up, everybody? What up, everybody? Let me get to the spot. Let me get to the spot. Hey, everybody. What is going on? This is Plan Your Greatness, and I am your gracious host, Carlton Hamilton. And let's get started today. Today is Turn Up Tuesday. Yes, it is. And I've got a question for you. Are you a loser? No? Well, then why are you using the excuses of a loser? We're going to discuss that here on Turn Up Tuesdays on the Plan Your Greatness channel. Hey, we are back. We are back. We are back. We are here on Turn Up Tuesdays on the Plan Your Greatness channel. And we are starting right out where we left off before the break, and that is asking you the question, are you a loser? And if you're not, then why are you using the excuses of a loser? And on Turn Up Tuesday, we're going to talk about the 5 excuses. And when I talk about these things, I'm talking about these were excuses that I use, but we're going to talk about 5 excuses that are used by losers. And also used by people who don't think they're losers, but because they're using these excuses, yeah, you're a loser. All right. So let's get started. Let's get started right into this, because I like this because it hits a nerve. Because some people go, well, I'm not no loser. I'm not. And I'm going, but why are you using one of these excuses? See, it's kind of hard to separate those two. That if you're not using these, then you've got nothing to talk about. But if you're using one of these excuses, yeah, let's look at right in the mirror. You're a loser if you're using one of these excuses. All right. So let's get right into it. Number 1. Now there is no particular order of these, so you can move around in different orders. Some may be seem more prominent, maybe used by others. But here we're going to start with. Number 1, you're using the excuse that you're not being your best. And that's what we're talking about. Any one of these, you're using it as an excuse why you're not actually being your best. And number 1 is you are either saying that you're not being your best or getting the opportunities because of your race, your gender, your sexual orientation, or your religion, or some combination of those. And we have seen way too many examples of people that are specifically of race that have overcome these obstacles and become very successful. We're not just talking about athletes or entertainers, because that's so narrow, because that they have a skill, which it didn't matter what they were going to, that skill took them to a new level. We're talking about just the average daily run-of-the-mill folks running their mouth out there talking about, I'm not getting no opportunities because I'm black, because I'm white, because I'm short. All these little combinations. I'm a woman, I'm gay, or whatever that is. Miss me with that. I'm a convicted felon. I'm black. I'm left-handed. And I can go down this whole laundry list of stuff. But we're not even going to go there. We're just going to say that's one of them. And if you are using that as an excuse, shame on you, and shame on every opportunity that passes you by, because you're over here using it as an excuse. All right. Number 2. Privilege. Oh, I'm not getting the opportunity because all the white folks got all the opportunities, or, somebody was born with a silver spoon up their booty and all that stuff like that. Miss me with all that too. Because again, a person may be born the son of a person who owns a company, the CEO of something, but that doesn't say anything about that person's work ethic. I've heard Eric Thomas say this. I don't care whether you came from a 2-parent family. I don't care if you came from privilege. I don't care if your uncle or whatever built the company. The name is on the building. You will not outwork him. And so the minute that you say somebody is of privilege, you are forgetting the point that if a grandfather has created a company and he has passed it down to his son, that son probably had some sort of acumen to carry that company. Now, again, don't jump in the comments and start bringing up somebody who tore their company down, like the Vanderbilt family. Man built up all that money and all the other stuff like that, and then the family just tore it down. We're not talking about that. I don't need those one-offs. But typically, if a debt, just like I tell my son and daughter, I am not going to allow you to run the businesses that I have created if you do not have the acumen to take care of it. I would be an absolute fool to do that. So I'll find somebody, it may be somebody I don't even want, but if they could run the business and keep the money flowing, I'm all with that. But I would much rather have you do it. So again, what I'm getting at is that somebody may be born into privilege, but if they do not show the acumen to carry it on, that business person is going to be, it's no longer family like The Godfather. It's business. All right. So you can say somebody has privilege, but what about your work ethic? Because that's something that may not be built in that individual because he's been handed something. So the whole point of him working for something, he's looking over his shoulder like, why do I need to work so hard? It's going to be handed to me. So he may just know kind of the basics of it. But then you come in, put your hustle down. And matter of fact, if you know that person, put your hustle down and become an important person to that person to where maybe you can latch on to some of that. All right. Number 3. This is, out of all of them, this is actually the one that probably touches me the hardest because I just think it's real interesting that we use these words. And there's several of them in it. Number 3 is a person will say, I am bored, I am unmotivated, I am uninspired, I am depressed, I have no passion for what I'm doing right now, or just to create something. And I look at that and I think that is just absolutely ridiculous. Because as I tell my kids, I said, if you are bored, why are you bored? Well, there's nothing to do. I said, so you're not doing anything. It's not that there's nothing to do. You're not doing anything. Oh, I'm just unmotivated. Why are you unmotivated? Because this particular activity or this class or this whatever, I'm just not motivated. Okay, but then what you need to do is change your mindset and find something motivating. Well, I can't find anything. Keep searching. Now, I say that and it sounds very snarky and sarcastic, but I was listening to Gary Vee and he had done a motivational speaking engagement. And so he had this Q&A afterwards and he comes down from the stage, shakes this guy's hand, and the guys go, hey, Gary, it's great to meet you. Man, I'm just really not, I haven't found my passion. And Gary just looked at him and said, you need to try more stuff. You just need to go out and try more stuff. And then he said, well, let me throw this out there to you. He said, how about you go save up your money and then you go online and you go find a recipe for a gourmet meal. And then you go to the store and then you buy all this stuff and then you see if you can make a gourmet meal. He said, that sounds a little silly, but you never know. You might like cooking. So the point that he's making is that's an endless search. You should never be bored. You should never be unmotivated. You should never be uninspired. You should never be depressed. You should never have no passion for something. Because once you start searching for stuff, once you start experimenting stuff, once you start trying stuff, there is motivation, there is passion, there is being inspired, there is lack of being bored in that whole process of searching for something. And if you don't find something, you just go move over to something else. So I never could understand why somebody would actually even have that come out of their mouth. Because the minute you don't find interest in something, you go look for something else. There's no point of sitting there crisscross applesauce with your arms folded and just going, I'm bored. I'm unmotivated. That means you're sitting over there waiting for the world to then entertain you, as opposed to you getting out there and constantly be in movement, in motion to try to find and seek what then inspires you. Does that make sense? All right. So let's move to the next one. Number 4 is luck. Oh, and I love this. Oh man, you so lucky. Look at you. You done been born with this nice. I done been born in poverty. And again, there are some legitimate barriers to being born with a silver spoon up your butt and being born with nothing. Not a pot to piss in, not a window to throw it out of. There is something to be said about that. But this is where That's where it stops. Because luck is created, in my opinion, by preparation, by energy, by effort, and then that meets an opportunity. And so if you keep preparing, tongue tied, if you prepare and you put forth energy, you put forth effort, that is going to meet an opportunity at some point in time. Some point in time is going to meet an opportunity. So that's not something that's in your control as far as what you deem as the luck of the draw of somebody being born in a particular situation. But what you, again, have absolute 100% control over is what you do in preparation, in effort, in energy. You have absolutely 100% control over that. And that leads us into the last one. And that's number 5. That is time. And I've seen quotes online where it says, Mother Teresa, Helen Keller, some blind purple people eater, they all have 24 hours in a day. So what are you actually doing with that? This is why I did in the other video, people ask, like, what are the 5 things that I do every day to help keep me successful? And at the very top of that list is I get up somewhere between 3:30 and 4 a.m. Monday through Friday. On Saturdays and Sundays, I usually get up a little bit later because I will have been up late Friday and late Saturday. So I get up later on Saturday and Sunday. But what I'm getting at is I get up early because I want to have as many hours awake to get stuff done. That's my first thing. Okay. And the other thing is that again, that 24 hours, nobody gets more than 24 hours. The elite people don't get 24 and a half, 25 hours. We all get 24 hours. So it's contingent upon you of what time you want to get up and start that whole process of getting stuff done. Again, I get up very early because I want to have those 3 hours between 4 and 7 where everybody starts to reach out to me. I want to make sure that I get my stuff done so that when people are reaching out to me, I could turn around and give them all my focus. And so as I do that, as I stay away from limiting myself by race, limiting myself by privilege, limiting myself with just very uninspiring words like bored, unmotivated. There's no place for luck other than just preparing, and then it's going to meet the opportunity. And then the last thing is utilizing as many hours of the day as possible. When you eliminate those things and you take advantage of the time that is allotted to you every single day, you are absolutely on the path to planning your greatness. All right. Make sure you hit the like button, the share button, the subscribe button. We are also on Instagram with the Plan Your Greatness. We're on Twitter. Same thing. Plan Your Great. You'll see the tagline on that. And as I do with every video, I'll leave you with this. Plan your greatness. You know why? Yeah. Say it again. Plan your greatness. You know why? Because no one else will. I'll see you all next Tuesday on Turn Up Tuesday.